Today's question, will running training affect my strength and muscle mass training? The answer to that is it might do. So there's a thing with regards to training called the interference effect, and that's basically that you are training different things that don't kind of line up together. They interfere with each other, so they can compromise each other. And running and strength training are probably one of the better examples, and hypertrophy training or muscle training are one of the better examples of that, simply because you're training different energy systems, you're training different muscle fibers, and you're doing different things. So that's why if you take the extremes of these things, which is just a very general way of looking at things, the best marathon runner will never have the most muscle mass, the strongest person alive will never be the smallest person alive, and the person with the best physique will never be the fastest person alive. They're all compromising each other, so they basically interfere with each other. So if you want to be the best runner of ever, your focus should be on running, and the strength training and hypertrophy training should be just accessory work to improve your running. Similar and vice versa, if your main goal is strength training and your main goal is hypertrophy training, the running or cardio aspect of your training should just be to assist your strength training and muscle mass training. So it can affect your training. So if your first is, what is your main goal? Is your main goal muscle mass and strength training? Then if it is, your running, like I said, should complement that, where you're running to improve your recovery so that you can recover between sets faster, you're improving your heart health so you can literally function better, recover better between sets, and that you are generally cardiovascular healthier, which will improve your general health, which will improve your general strength and your general muscle mass. Where running can affect your muscle mass and strength training is, for example, let's say you go running on a Tuesday evening and you do a long run and you're squatting on Wednesday. Your legs are going to be quite tired for that squatting session, so you have to align your training properly so that it's not interfering with your directly as in from fatigue. And then of course there are simple things like if your main goal is hypertrophy training, so building muscle, you must understand that running long distances, your body wants to be as light as possible. So building muscle is not what it wants to do. So your body will actually break down to muscle tissue and fat tissue to give you energy when you're running. This is why people who do ultra marathons or marathons in general are very lean, because their body just breaks down their tissue to give them energy throughout it. So you just got to be mindful of that if you're doing a lot of running, it will affect your strength training. You won't be as strong as you could be, and you won't be as big as you could be. Now, if you're a normal person and you run 1 or 2 times a week, it won't make that much big of a difference. If anything, it'll actually enhance your strength training and enhance your muscle mass if you do it correctly. And that again is just designing your training week or your program so that the running or the cycling or whatever cardio you do doesn't impact the next day on your training. For example, if you were rowing, your upper back and shoulders are going to be fairly cooked if you did a very hard rowing session on Tuesday night, and then if you're doing a back session, shoulder session on Wednesday, you're not going to have the same strength. So you should design your program around other training aspects. And if you have to train on the same day, so if you don't have a lot of time, and you have the luxury of being able to do 2 things in one day, you would do 1 in the morning, and then at least give it a 6-hour break and do 1 in the evening. So let's say you went for a 5K run first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. Perfect. By the time, at 6 p.m., and that's you finish work and you can go to the gym or you can do your home training session, whatever, for your upper body, you should be recovered physically for that you can actually do that without kind of interfering with each other. But it's very basic. Yeah, running does affect your muscle mass and strength training if you do a lot of it. But yeah, in general, for most people, if you do once or twice a week, even 3 times a week, it can enhance both things if you train correctly. All right, guys, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below. And as always, we'll talk to you later. Cheers.